So I read, I can't even because of the glare, The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. I forgot to look up how to pronounce his name. I think it's Juster, because I found out that he was American, like halfway through reading this book. This is here's the mini version of the book. It's cute! And by that, I just mean it matches this book pretty well. I got the right cover, so it matches from the library. Because they actually had 3 different versions of the Phantom Tollbooth at the library. One of them had, like, each page, it was like the DVD where, like, talk-over version of the book. Where there was, like, notes on every page on why they made each decision. I'm glad I didn't pick that one, because I would have been kind of bored. So, what is the Phantom Tollbooth? Let me tell you about it. It is a novel that has become a children's classic. Yeah, if you're watching this, if you're here with me now, you most likely have heard of this book, and if you haven't, that's totally fine because I'll tell you about this book. It was written in 1960, so a lot of people have grown up reading this book when they were a kid. So this book is about Milo. We're first introduced to Milo, and he's a young boy, this is Milo, that thinks everything in his life is boring. School is boring, home is boring, and life is just a repetitive slog. But as he returns home one day, he finds a present in his room, and that present turns out to be the Phantom Tollbooth, and he gets a little car with it that he can sit in and go and ride in to go through the toll booth, because, you know, you have to be in a car to go through a toll booth, I guess. Milo travels for ages and ages and eventually finds himself traveling to various weird little places like Dictionopolis, a land where everyone uses words in ways Milo has never seen before, or he falls off a cliff and lands on the island of Conclusions. This goofy tale shares lessons on keeping your mind open to all possibilities while weaving in puns on every page. And perhaps if I were the intended age demographic, I would have thought it to be quite an exciting book, but I didn't really like this book. I feel really bad. This book just wasn't it for me. Like, I like reading kids' books still. Like, I read middle grade. This is what would be considered middle grade, which are books aimed towards the age demographic of, like, 8 to 12. And I don't know. If I was a child or I was reading this with a child, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But even so, my own inner child was getting quite bored of the story as well. But it's not a long book. And hold on. There's pictures on a lot of the pages. Like, every other page will have, like, a picture. So it might be a 250-page book, but it's not really because there's, like, a ton of, like, little pictures in between. There were a lot of puns and cute messages for each chapter, but that is more or less the whole book. I couldn't stand, even when I was little, I couldn't stand it when books would repeat what they were saying many, many times, like when I was a kid. And then I can't stand it now either as an adult. And this book is more of like it's like we go to a place, every chapter we go to a new place, we experience the vibes of said place, and then we do that again the next chapter, and we get a little message like, expand your horizons. I don't know. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't judge a book by its cover. That sort of thing. And while I recognize that's the point, and a child would probably get a lot out of this, it didn't work for me on an enjoyment level. And I also think if you were a kid like me that read books like way beyond their grade level, you would not enjoy this book unless I wouldn't have liked it unless I was reading it in like 1st or 2nd grade. But this is probably a book, generally speaking, for like 4th to 5th graders, honestly. I don't know. Anyway, I can totally see why this is such a well-beloved book. Personally, I don't think I would have enjoyed it even if I was the target demographic, like I keep saying. But to each their own. I also think there are better children's stories that were written in the 1960s. Like, the story is totally fine. And I actually appreciate that this is a portal fantasy that is not influenced by C.S. Lewis. Like, it doesn't have, like, the heavy Christianity, like, messaging or anything like that. It's all just about, like, I don't know, enjoying each day to the fullest and not thinking everything is automatically boring and opening up your eyes to learning as a kid. And that's cool, but I never want to read this book again. I'm sorry, it's boring. Monster of the Week, but the monster is a new experience tied into morality. Yeah, it is. Yep, that's exactly it. And so, yeah, it was fine. It probably was groundbreaking in the 1960s. Anyway, I'm going to go draw a new book. Here's my box. It's too big still. of all of my prompts. I really hope I get a book that's shorter. So this took me so long to read because I had to read a book for book club. I was also traveling, and then I also need to read, before I can read this next book, I need to read the next book for book club, which is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is the sequel to The Tainted Cup. Anyway, I'm going to draw a book. I really want a short one, but it's okay if it's long. I'm going to shut my eyes. Which one do I take? This one. Oh! Man, I was kind of also hoping to get something that I submitted in here. The books that I submitted only took up like 45% of them. Oh my god, I can't get this open. I think this is a manga. It looks like a manga, doesn't it? Let me look up what this is called. This was submitted by Dr. Toto Hex. It's called Hero and Former General by the author Sometime. It's Yuri. Yay! Shocking that I get Yuri recommendation from Dr. Toto X. Oh, this is a really short manga. Cool. It's only 26 chapters. Yay! So cool. I'm excited to read this. But I won't get to it till I finish Drop of Corruption. Okay, so sorry for the gap in time. I decided I wanted to switch this up a little bit and see what you think about me pulling the book and having the review in the same video. I know, like, if you're looking forward to my reviews, it may not matter, but I think, like, if you're like, oh, I want you to watch this video, and then I don't finish this book in, like, a week, or 2 weeks, it takes me longer than a week, you know? You may forget that I did this, and so I kind of just wanted to combine them. So, it may cause, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring out what the best methodology for this is, so let me know what you think about it, and I don't know, we'll go from there. But today, I am going to be reviewing Hero and Former General by Sometime. This also has a different name on Goodreads. It's called Superwoman in Love. And I guess, sure. I guess it makes sense. Hero and Former General doesn't sound all that compelling in English. But I didn't even know that it was called that until today when I was reviewing the book. So, what is this about? I read the entire series. It's a 26-chapter manga series. This is a simple weekly Sentai Yuri romantic comedy about Honey Trap, a Sentai villainess, and Rapid Rabbit, a common writer-esque Sentai hero. Honey Trap actually defeats Rapid Rabbit in our opening chapter, but she wants to see the true face of her nemesis before she destroys them. But, in this world, love at first sight is real, and Honey Trap is immediately smitten by Rapid Rabbit. So there is no way she can go in for the killing blow. Because of this, Honey Trap is fired by the evil organization she was working for. One thing leads to another, and now Honey Trap and Rapid Rabbit are teaming up to fight the evil organization together. Can Honey Trap defeat her former employers and get the girl of her dreams to fall for her? Well, you'll just have to read to find out. So, there isn't really anything wrong with this manga. I read the whole thing. It's very cute. It's very silly. It's not too deep, but it borders on being shallow, in my opinion. Like, there isn't anything wrong with this series. It reads like fan fiction fluff. And you know what? I think that's exactly what this is. It isn't fan fiction in the sense of being based on any one particular piece of media, but it does make fun of a lot of the typical Sentai tropes and even pokes fun at fan fiction tropes as well. I honestly don't have a lot to say other than that because it was cute. There isn't a lot of plot to comment on. It's pretty heavy-handed fluff, which there's nothing wrong with, but I am hoping to pull something less sweet next out of my TBR box. I recommend this book to those who are lesbian, like Yuri, like Sentai and Yuri, and want to read something so fluffy and sweet you might get a cavity. I do not recommend this to those who are not looking for something simple to pick up. They don't like high action, low emotional stake stories, or I guess if you don't like meta stuff, this is pretty meta and I can see people not loving that aspect of it. Perfectly fine manga series for what it is. If it had been any longer than what it was, I would have been mad at it. In fact, I actually think it was a couple chapters too long, but there were extra fluff on top of fluff chapters, which, like, if you're really into this sort of thing, like if you really want just happy lesbian story, overall, like, even the tense parts are not that deep. Tension is resolved very quickly, and that's okay. Just hoping for something with a bit more meat on it, I guess. I'm really excited to grab the next book out from here. Let's see. I'm really gonna shake it up. I always say that every time. We'll see if it's true. I'm just gonna close that. I'm trying to like really... That's probably way too loud. Okay, let me shut my eyes. I'm gonna pull from this area. I don't know which way. Let's go. I have two in my hand. Which one should I pick? This one. What did I get? A book. Oh! I did say I wanted something heavier, didn't I? Alright, this one. This is a reread actually, but I haven't read this in years. This is Neuromancer by William Gibson. Neuromancer was recommended to me by Professor Links. Thank you very much for that recommendation. I have read this book, but it's been at least a decade since I've read it, so I'm pretty excited for the reread. I do remember really enjoying this book. I hope that it lives up to like my memories. And I know this book isn't super long, so I should be back soon. Actually, what are you reading? Are you reading anything? Let me know in the comments below if you are. And if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe, because then you'll know when my next video is released. And isn't that cool? I'm so bad at saying these things. Alright, bye every sluggy!